And we are live. Unfortunately, we're not live in Bell Buckle.
No, sirree.
I'm in Louisville. You're even farther away.
I'm up in Maine.
And yeah, we can't be there. So we thought we'd have this little party.
Why not? Why is us playing some music in the background? You think we would? What did you do, Dale?
I just I boo-boo. I bumped my finger.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I gotta be. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to make sure we got a link so we can get some people in here.
True.
Were
you guys shut down if we played music in the background?
I don't know. Let's see here.
Belt buckle's a lot about the music, you know. Ain't gonna be belt buckle on dead silence, you'd think.
Whoop. We gotta. No, that's not what I wanted to do. You know, me and technology.
You're supposed to fake it, Dale. Make it seem like you're professional and you know what you're doing. Fake it till you make it, man. That cringe on your face does not look promising.
I finally got it. Now, if I can share it.
Good luck.
Now we go Facebook. And this is going to be so. I'm so glad I got the second monitor hooked up. Okay, now we go to sharing group. We'll go Russ Taff friends. We are live. Come join us. And
how about the original version of I Still Believe? That's right. Start off with that in the background a little bit. Is that too loud?
Oh, no, that's all right. Actually, that's not the original. Now, to me, it's the definitive recording of I Still Believe. But it is actually a cover. Michael Ben of The Call wrote it, and it's on The Call's album Reconciliation.
Actually, I'm going to turn down a little bit because I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Okay. Yeah, we probably don't want to take any chance of getting a copyright.
Yeah. If it's low enough, it won't copyright won't be a problem.
So we are what to kick off with. I already was showing you. Got my bell buckle hat on.
Nice.
Got my coffee beverage together, and that is in my bell buckle coffee mug.
I have my sugar-free fruit punch packet mixed with lemon seltzer water without a half cup.
And I'm drinking Russ Taff. I Still Believe in Coffee.
Give us your review. Is it a robust roast? Is it dark? Is it rich? Is it?
Oh, now you're asking me a bunch of questions that I really don't. I'm not that big of a coffee head.
Does it taste good?
Yeah, of course. I put stuff in it.
Whipped cream you put in there and all that. It's like candy now.
I can tell you this: this bag makes for some nice ASMR.
ASMR Batman.
So now, by the way, this guy. I keep forgetting that's backwards, right? This is this way. So this guy, Value Vinyl Steve, sent me a package, and I just shot a video and a bunch of records he sent me, and that will probably go up tonight or tomorrow morning.
If I knew there was a bunch of gospel in there, I would have been like, "Hey, open it on camera." But
yeah, Yeah. But that wasn't the only thing I got in the mail.
What'd you get?
Well, my dear friend, Susan Hall, who is the wife of Larry Hall, who is Russ Taff's longtime keyboardist, sent me this FedEx. Now, she said, don't get too excited. It's not that exciting. I don't know. I can obviously tell it's nothing to eat. I don't think.
Not edible. Well, I guess it's good fiber, but it probably wouldn't taste good.
I would, yeah. If there's a moon pie in here, it's probably pretty flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to assume it's nothing. There's a note. We'll read that in a second.
Drum roll. What is it, Dale?
Oh my.
Ooh.
Apparently I've gotten one of these treats before when I've gone. It is apparently Russ has gone in and recorded a couple songs. He'll do that sometimes.
Oh wow. Amazing Grace and Told Praise.
Yes.
Well, 2020 CD. You're not there. They brought it to you.
Thank you. Susan said, don't get so excited. What are you talking about?
What?
Some new Ross.
Understatement of the year.
Oh my god.
Limited edition CD just for the belt buckle sent to you? Come on.
Says hello, Dale, and everyone watching on Facebook, because she thought this was on Facebook. It's on YouTube.
It's okay.
We wish you were here with us in Sweet Bell Buckle. I wish I was there too. We miss you. We love you. We are praying for better health and safety for all. Hope to see you at Bell Buckle 2021. Much love, Susan. Oh, fine. Susan, Larry, Russ, and Tori. I tell you.
Look at that smile on your face. Look at you looking all gorshy.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah, I not being there is kind of tough this year because it's definitely something that I look forward to all year. But this COVID's not going to last forever, and hopefully we'll have it beat by this time next year.
If maybe we can all get together and everybody in the world, the nation, take steps to make sure it doesn't spread, we can beat it. But
yeah,
we got to be unified.
I will say this. I've done a lot of reading of the protocols that they're using in Bell Buckle this weekend, and I appreciate how thoughtful those protocols are, and I think that it will help people stay safe. I just felt like I just had a couple risks that just made it wiser for me to stay. And so we're going to hope that everybody that is there stays safe and has a great time. And we're going to kind of lean into this and have a good time tonight. And see what we are going to do tonight. So
there's a lot of events where people get together and it's perfectly great, but then there's some that turn into super spreaders and you just can't tell in advance which one's which, and we pray and hope that everyone has a great time and stays safe.
That is good. Yes. So I'm not sure exactly where to take this. I guess what we could do is just kind of talk a little bit about the weekend and
tell me, because you've physically been there more than once. Usually go, tell me some of your experiences, what's the lineup like? What's the itinerary from when you come in and when you leave?
Well, over the years, it definitely has been an all weekend experience. Usually what happens, we're about 3.5 to 4 hours outside of Bell Buckle here in Louisville. And so Dave will come over from Lexington. Usually gets here about noon.
Yep, usually Dave, your boy.
And we have here in Louisville, we have what just a block up from me. They have a major arts and crafts festival, St. James Arts and Crafts Festival, that makes Dave sliding in here to grab me and take off a little tricky. But once we get on the road, it's a good time. So we usually shoot straight down to Nashville.
Jamming the tunes real loud on the drive down, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Dave usually has his iPod stocked up and ready to go. And so we'll get down there, and then all right, so we've gone 3 times, and I don't think we've hit the same record store twice.
Cool.
Going or coming. So we usually will have some lunch and hit a couple shops. Yeah, so they've got some really good ones. They've got I'm trying to think on Fridays we've had a couple of great escapes. They've got one in Nashville, they've got one in Murfreesboro. And so we've hit those. The first year we actually hit a old Christian bookstore. It felt like we had hit a time machine, because this Christian bookstore actually, if my memory serves me right, and I'm old, so give me some grace, but hey, Crystal, Crystal is a dear friend of mine. She runs the Russ Taff Friends page.
Oh, it's awesome!
And she runs our merch table for the weekend. So, yeah, if there's anything good on that merch table, she's has already been instructed to let me know so that I can PayPal her some money.
Wave back.
So I can PayPal her some money and she can pick it up for me or something.
Nice.
So anyway,
the CD brought to you, so you got that brought to you. The merch table is you can get to that. You see, but you're still a part of it. You're still
I'm lucky. I'm well connected there.
Good thing you're a likable kind of guy, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah, for the most part. There might be some people who disagree with you there. Jake, anytime that I walk through the kitchen and don't give him wet cat food, he'd disagree with you. But yeah, we hit that one Christian bookstore. It was like taking a step back a couple decades. So we've had some interesting trips. We went into a drum store that's there once. It's kind of warm. I might have to take the hat off.
I'm adjusting the music. Give me a sec.
Let's see.
We're in the metals now.
Holy! I might have to put the hat back on.
Hey, just be thankful you still got hair.
Yeah, I would. My hair was good before I put it on. Anyway,
I just did this and went. So wear a hat today? Whatever.
So Bell Buckle's a little south of Nashville. So once Dave and I have hit the record shops and got something to eat, usually that leads to us hitting the road again. And it's not a long drive, but we will stop at the grocery store and stock up for whatever we need, and then head on into Bell Buckle. Now, we stayed there 2 years. Last year, we actually stayed in Murfreesboro. And so, yeah, then you just kind of chill out for the night. Now, 2 years were a little different. 2 years ago, Russ sang at the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh, Grand Ole Opry,
yeah. And I got tickets. Dave and I stopped there on the way in and watched him sing. And then last year we came in early because they were doing a showing of the documentary at the Bell Buckle Cafe, or at the Bell Buckle, or
I remember that.
The big hall. They had the they did a showing of the documentary. So this year I didn't see anything in the itinerary for this year. So I imagine people are.
Oh, Crystal missed that.
Yeah, she missed the Grand Ole Opry banquet hall. Yeah, words will sometimes escape me. So I mean, it's always a good time to see folks. I liked last year pretty good because get in early and get to see people and gives you a little bit more time with them. The one drawback to the weekend at Bell Buckle is it feels like it starts and then it's next thing you know it's over and you don't see these people again for another year.
Yeah, and, family reunion.
Yeah, so you know what? I'm realizing I always forget to hit these lights. I look like I'm sitting in the dark. And
show that nice girlish glow on your skin. Look at that. Oh, look at that. So nice.
Yeah, we're so high tech over here.
Ever tell you I've been to Kentucky once? I have been. I went to Kentucky one time in my life.
What was that for?
I was 16, 17 years old in high school, and I had a girlfriend at the time. She had family down in the London, Kentucky area, and she needed to go down, but she didn't want to go down by herself, so invited me to go with her. And went down, met people I never knew, people that, I kind of felt like an odd man out. I was just kind of like extra baggage hanging around, but it was something to do for the week. So we went down there, and I was really amazed at the time, like how inexpensive things in the vending machines were compared to at that time. I was living in Michigan where, it was like 75, 80 cents for a can of soda and pop. And then it was like a quarter in the vending machine. So, and then I noticed a lot of people using y'all and the drawl and all that. And it really, but it was where they were stayed at was in the middle of nowhere. So
yeah,
I was there. I didn't have much of an experience to really say about it. I didn't see much of the state or anything. I just went there and hung out with some of her family, and then we broke up, and there it was.
Oh man, yeah, the standard of living's probably a lot lower here than what any place that you've been. Probably even especially
Maine's pretty good, but Michigan was pretty high at certain places. Sure.
I forgot. Crystal lives in Michigan now.
Yeah, I'm from Holland.
I can't remember exactly where she's from, but I just know that she's in Michigan. Yeah, so usually Friday nights are pretty chill. I think the first year Dave and I went down, we waited till all the reservations got out of the Bell Buckle Cafe, and then we went in and had a late bite to eat, and then we walked around the town, and you can literally walk around the town in about 20 minutes.
Nice.
I mean, literally from one end to the other. So, in fact, there was one weekend. Bell Buckle is so tiny. There was one weekend. Dave and I noticed that there was a bike laying on the sidewalk, and it stayed there the whole weekend. Every time we went by, there was that bike. Oh wow!
Abandoned? It was stolen and dropped off. Did somebody lose it?
Probably just somebody. It's so small. People probably just, little kids probably just dump their stuff and don't worry about it.
Let's come back and get it tomorrow.
Do you know where Barron County is?
Nope. But I'm looking it up right now. Here it is.
About a half hour south of Benton Harbor and St. Joseph.
Yeah, down there in St. Joseph. I should know where Barron County is, being from Holland. Yeah. I've been through there because, St. Joe and all that. Yeah. Okay. I just didn't know that was Barron County. So, Ottawa, Allegan, down Barron. Got it.
Yeah. So yeah, the Friday nights are pretty quiet, and and usually the rest of the weekend. I mean, so festivities usually start, I guess, as early as the shops start opening, probably about 9:00. And now they are an hour behind us. They are on Central Time.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, and that was quite a rude awakening for me the first year because
It's not that far away.
I typically that first year my typical time to get up was 6 o'clock, and so here I'm in Bell Buckle waking up at 5 a.m. and thinking, wow, I really want to get this day going. But yeah, usually it just you kind of go through a lot of they have a lot of antique shops there. And so if you like to go through antique shops.
Oh, yeah. It's not just records that you might be able to find there, but I just love, old antique stuff and times gone by. Just you never know what you're going to find.
Yeah. And so they have lots of that stuff there. And you can spend all the time that you're not doing Russ and Tori Taff weekend stuff. You can spend the rest of the time going through the antique shops. And
those antique shops enjoy the Bell Buckle because I'm sure they get business and makes them, good for them on that.
And then they also have, of course, they got the Bell Buckle Cafe, which is just outstanding food. And Dave and I would usually grab lunch there before we'd head over to Russ's front yard. Because that's where it kicks off. Russ's front yard. They put a bunch of hay bales out, and everybody sits on the hay bales. Exactly what you saw in the documentary.
Yep.
Sit on the hay bales, and it's usually a little warmer than what I like, but there's lemonade and Russ will do some acoustic numbers and talk, and it's a good time. And then there's the meet and greet afterward, and that's always a good time too, and staying around and meet other people that are there and make friends and just real down to earth, down home time.
I'm telling you,
apparently
we get past this COVID, Dale. I'm gonna do it. I'm coming down. I got to go to one of these. I got to.
Apparently, you were correct about something. You hit the nail on the head. Now,
about the Ottawa Elegant thing, or that the stores love the weekend because it brings in business. I'm right about a lot of things. Don't ask my wife; she disagrees, but she's really right every now and then.
I was going to say, even a broke clock.
Even the blind squirrel will find a nut every now and then, or else the blind squirrel wouldn't be alive, would he? Yes, yeah.
So, yeah. So usually it's a good time. You go through the shops, and usually by mid late afternoon, I'm hitting up the ice cream shop that they got there, and they got a nice little ice cream shop. It's in looks like an old time drugstore.
Oh,
and, yeah, it's just all kinds of quaint. And
now it's reminding me of Saugatuck. I used to go down there back in Michigan. I'm sure Crystal probably knows where Saugatuck is, where they got the little. It's like an old timey, touristy kind of place, but it's just like it's like 50, 60 years behind the rest of everybody else. You just go down there and make believe you went in a time capsule. I don't know if that's that way, but
yeah,
nice those old soda shops and ice cream shops.
Oh yeah. So the only drawback, they also have, like I was talking about, I'm drinking that coffee from this, got my Russ Taff, I still believe in coffee. Can't forget the coffee shop that's in, like, you go in a door that almost doesn't look like it's one that you should be going in, but you go in there and it's a beautiful coffee shop, and they make this blend especially for the weekend, and it's all kinds of cozy. The only thing about Bell Buckle is, if you really want to get away, it's a good place because cell reception is it's not great.
You're not gonna be on your phone diddly around all day.
Oh no. So, and that can be good, and that could Saugatuck. Is that how it's spelled?
Yeah.
All right. So,
I'm close. That's not it. Yeah, that's
yeah. So it's really a good little time, and then about 6 o'clock at night, you go over to the banquet hall, and the Bell Buckle Cafe caters this dinner. That's just outstanding. And so you go and you have this catered dinner, and then there's I wish I had thought about some way of hooking us up with pictures, but they have this concert setup that's just, I mean, it's beautiful, and they really, that banquet hall's decked out, and then you get ready for an evening long concert. Last year, of course, was Phil Keggy and Russ Taff.
oh,
Talk about it,
Taff, man. Mm.
and
I'm
so
jealous
that
of both of you now. Looks like you and Krista both got a bag of that coffee. I'm jelly.
was so yeah. I mean, I couldn't complain about last year's concert.
No, hey.
They've all been good, but I'll have to admit, I love Phil so much. And I forgot, it'd been a while since I've seen him live, so I'd kind of forgotten just how great Phil is on the guitar, and he's just so amazing. So it was, and then of course getting to talk to him afterward, and
Age not slowing him down any, I assume?
Do what now?
Age not slowing him down at all?
Doesn't. Yeah, it did. I wasn't hearing anything that sounded like it was slowing down. He looks as good as he ever has. But I guess the years are getting up there for him, because he's been performing since the late 60s with Glass Harp.
Yeah. He ain't a young guy. He's older than both of us.
Apparently, you can order a bag.
Well, now I know. That's why I said thumbs up. All right. Now I know.
Yeah, so with Phil, yeah, I didn't notice anything. He sounded splendid vocally. He was playing great. I mean, it was just yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess one day he'll slow down, but I'm not seeing it, not yet.
You are 100% responsible for Phil and Russ, and anyone associated with the Gaithers too. They're all were out of my vision of anything of knowledge before I met you, and I thank you so much for introducing me to all of them, Dale. You're awesome.
Yeah, I was enjoying your video last night. I forgot to comment on it, but I was watching you go through all those Gaither albums, and there were some good ones in there. Yeah. And
my collection's getting big.
Yeah, but look at some of the other albums you got, because I was noticing some Gaither titles in what they were doing, like the He Touched Me. Yeah. That is a hymn written by Bill Gaither.
Indeed. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff in that.
The last time I looked at a hymnal in my church, there were like 5 hymns written by Bill and Gloria. And the 2 biggest ones that they always spring to my mind are He Touched Me and Because He Lives.
So you're telling me I got to go through my whole rack of gospel stuff and read the small print on the back of them all, and then maybe pull them and put them all in Gaither section. Is that what I got to do? Probably.
Well, I don't know if they necessarily, I would put them in the Gaither section, but it'd be interesting to note how many of those albums have Gaither songs on them.
He did.
Yeah, not only made another Russ fan, but made another Phil fan
Mm-hmm.
and another Bill fan.
Yep.
And I don't know, have I gotten you turned on to anybody else? I'm trying to think.
Oh, what was her name? Oh, you just made her slip my mind. I was going to mention her, but I couldn't remember her name. The lady. She was a great singer. What was her name?
Not Eva.
It's gonna bug me, and I'm not gonna remember it. But I only heard like a few songs from her, and you'd introduced me to her, and I really liked her, but I don't have anything by her physically.
Are we talking about Eva Cassidy?
Is that her? I think that might be her. Maybe, yeah. Let me check because I have it on my favorite list here. Hold on. Yeah, that's her.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So,
and
I don't think I get.
let's see, Crystal. Whoops, grabbed the wrong quote there. Here we go. I've seen "We Will Stand" in a hymnal, just the chorus though. Well, but you know, she makes a good point because I have not introduced him to Bonnie Keene. Bonnie Keene is been a long time. Well, she sang backup for us for a long time, but she's best known for a trio that she was in called First Call. She was in a trio with Marty McCall. I believe
You're not Marty McFly, right? No.
And
not Marty McFly. Okay.
No. Marty, I believe his name's Marty McCall and Melody Tunney, I believe. And Marty was the one that was in those Fireworks albums. I think you sent me one.
Yeah, I sent you that Fireworks one. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of connections here. I think the funniest story that I heard, and I'm pretty sure I heard it at the weekend festival. Is that where I heard it? Or maybe Russ told it to me. I can't remember, but he he said that the year that I think Under Their Influence was up for a Grammy.
Okay.
Or not a Grammy, either Grammy or Dove, one of the big awards.
Yeah.
And it was going to be up against Jesus Freak, I think. DC Talk's Jesus Freak. So Russ thought that he wasn't going to. He decided not to go because he.
Like, DC Talk. They're so popular. They've even
and Jesus Freak was such a huge album.
It was big,
but I think Under Their Influence won.
Yeah.
And people were looking for Russ.
Where is he? Where he at?
And he was back home. I think Bonnie Keene.
No, he didn't go.
I think Tori and Bonnie Keene were wits. and they were calling back saying, Russ, they're asking for you.
I got to.
Man.
That's how you spell it, Keen?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I put her on my take a look at it list, on my favorite list.
Yeah. But I thought that was a funny story.
Oh yeah, there she is. She has her own website, BonnieKeene.com. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, great singer. Great singer. I've got a couple of her CDs. I don't know how hard they would be to get, just because I don't know that there was a lot of distribution behind them.
Mm-hmm.
But she's put out some nice stuff. She sang the evening of the first weekend that I went, which would have actually been year 2. Yeah, that's right. First Call did do a lot of backup vocals for a lot of artists. And not only that, but First Call did a couple of Christmas albums, An Evening in December, Volumes 1 and 2, and Russ sang on one of them.
Does look like God of Many Chances from 2003 is on CD and Discogs, and there is one for sale, 14.
Yeah. I think you could probably find something on eBay.
Yeah.
That'd be reasonable.
I'm just tickled because she does a cover of Kumbaya on there.
And she did a really nice one. She did that the first year at Bell Buckle.
Oh, cool. That's just such old traditional. That brings back nostalgia. Sitting by the campfire, church group. I used to go to summer camps with my church, and that was given every single year.
Yeah. So. Yeah. But yeah, she's done some really nice stuff. And the First Call stuff is top notch. If you like, vocal groups.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So, especially the early First Call stuff was really popular.
Oh yeah, look at that. There's lots of First Call. 19 albums. Yikes.
Oh wow, I didn't realize there was that many. I think I have about a half dozen of them, but
oh wait, no. There's 19 listings, but there's 6 singles, EPs, and a couple comps. So
yeah,
there's only 8 full studio albums.
Yeah, and I want to say one of the ones I got looked like it wasn't. It might have been self-distributed, but yeah, I can't.
The later ones are Myrrh, but it looks like the early ones are Dayspring. So
yeah, that sounds right. Both of those were big labels back in the day. I don't know. The way Christian music has gone, most of the artists that I like now are not on major labels. They've gone on. They usually are now the artists that I like now that were big back in the 80s. They're doing their own thing.
There's a lot of independent stuff now with the technology where people can record easier and distribute, and it's all digital. You don't have to have a pressing plant or a cassette tape factory to get digital music online. Makes it easier, less expensive to, self-produce now. So
yeah,
especially got the middleman of record companies and executives and people. And I don't know. I'm not a musician. I'm just guessing.
Yeah. The band that she plays in, let me think. It's an Eagles band. It's an Eagles tribute band.
Oh.
And I can't remember the name of it either. I just remember, isn't she in it with Ron Hemby? Crystal? I think she's in it with Ron Hemby. Yeah, I know they're in it together.
Says here she was in Andre Crouch's All-Star Choir. That's cool. Yeah, Crouch, you don't like him.
Do what now?
Andre Crouch's All-Star Choir, it shows that she was in. But
well, there are connections there too. Russ toured with Andre back in the 80s over in some of the Scandinavian countries. In fact,
I feel bad. I had 2 Andre Crouch albums, and I gave them both away in that one mountain giveaway. I think one went to Zach Blabbeth, and I think you got one.
Did
Maybe.
I?
Maybe. Don't count.
I'll try to remember that. I think I've got some Andre Crouch doubles. I'll try to send you something. But one of the rare albums in my collection, and this wouldn't be a music video, a music collect, or this is a music collection channel, sometimes. So let me show a record.
Sure, why not?
Let's see if I can get that centered up there.
Live, we will stand. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? I see some people out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's our boy Russ.
Look at that stash. That's old stash to us.
Yeah. This was came out on Leon Records, and I forget which country pressed it.
Pretty sure not America.
Oh yeah, not America. It would have been Sweden or Denmark or Norway, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So we've got the well, let me take the other record. It's a double record. Some of the other artists are really good. Sandra Crouch is on here. I don't know Salt or L&B very well, but I know Simon Nadal because there's a kind of a soul pop band called Eden Nadal. And that Frank needs, or well, the one of these Adal guys, maybe both of them. There's also Frank Adal, I think, singing. If that makes any sense.
How do you spell that last name? Adall or
Adahl.
HL? Okay.
So I think Eden is more like EDIN.
Okay.
And Adal is ADAHL. But they've got some really nice albums. And I know Russ I think it was Frank that he said he just loved his voice.
Eagle Maniacs.
There you go. Oh my God.
Here listening to you and going through Bonnie's website. And she actually has a tab that says Eagle Maniacs. So there we go.
And so this particular one is a gatefold.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful.
Yeah. And of course it's got some of this camera is backwards from the camera I usually shoot collection videos with, so that's why I'm going all over the place. But here we go.
Are there any palm trees anywhere on that? It's not an Andre Crouch album without a palm tree on it, is there?
Yeah, believe it or not. So there you got a few of the lyrics from We Will Stand.
Yep, there you go.
I will probably at some point in my YouTube career will do a video just on the impact of the song We Will Stand.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah. And so on this, we have Russ singing Rock Solid, I'm Not Alone, both from his second album, Metals, and then We Will Stand, which was on his first album, Walls of Glass. And then Simon Adal, L&B, Ingemar Olsen, don't know who that is, couple. Then Andre and Sandra have a side. And then Salt and Johan Wallstrom Band. So, yeah.
It's a pretty rare record. Pretty rare record, though.
Oh, yeah. I got mine a couple years ago, and I'm trying to remember. I think I snagged mine off of eBay. And, I looked at it and I thought, man, because I couldn't believe that there was an album, a Russ album out that I didn't even know existed. And sure enough, I think that cost me about $30 and I dropped it immediately.
Worth every kind of, yeah.
It's like, that's not getting away from me.
It's 2 LP, it's foreign pressing, it's got great people on it, and then some of your favorite artists, and you never even knew it existed.
Right. Well, let's let me show you this. There's the Leon label.
Yeah.
Never seen anything like that before.
No, neither have I.
Okay.
Yes, we got it, Crystal. You're right. We got it.
Yeah. I like her icon picture with her and Russ.
Yeah, I love that.
So
I get it. Wait, Ego Maniac. Eagles Maniacs. They're an Eagles cover band. I got it. I just got it.
okay.
Maniac.
So I sent you an album, The Imperials, this year's model.
Yes.
You remember that album?
I remember that one. I know what the cover even looks like in my head.
All right. So one of the lead singers on that in that group is Ron Hemby.
The name sounds familiar, actually.
Yeah. Ron sang in the Imperials for a while, and he has been playing bass in Russ's live band since I've been going to. And yeah, he's an amazing vocalist too. And I'm trying to think which songs he sang lead on that particular album. But yeah, they had pulled in Ron Hemby and Jimmy Lee, and I don't know how to say his last name. It's Sloas. Sloas? I don't know. But he's a great singer too, and has been in some great bands like Dogs of Peace.
Is that how you do the heart for Crystal? Like a heart there. Love your icon picture too.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was a great lineup for the Imperials, and I enjoy seeing Ron. So Crystal's saying that Ron's due to be there this weekend. Cool. All deal.
Right. You got to go now.
I could still make it. I don't know how I'd get there. I'd have to hitchhike. That's probably not good in COVID, right?
You got one of those hazmat suits on. Go on down. Have a blast.
Yeah. Cover myself from head to toe in saran wrap or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So where were we going with this? Were we going anywhere? Oh, we never even talked about what Sunday morning was like.
No, one of your typical Dale tangents. It happened.
Yeah, we left off with Saturday night. So, you have your meal and you have your concert on Saturday night. Usually that thing wraps up fairly good, like because they start so early. The concert starts at like 7, so it's usually wrapped by somewhere between 9 and 10, and by the time you get out of there, and it's not usually wherever things not far along. Then you come back the next morning about 10 a.m. and they feed you a great brunch, catered brunch. That's always excellent. And then on Sunday afternoon, then you get a really long concert usually with that's more the back half of Russ's career. It's more like the gospel Gaither settings. In fact, the second year I went, which was year 3, Bill Gaither led it. He even had everybody sitting on the stage like they were at a Gaither homecoming. And man, it is all that the Sunday morning services are always outstanding. First year was Mark Lowry. Have you been introduced to Mark Lowry?
God, the name sounds familiar, but I wouldn't be able to tell you anything.
You would probably like him. He's his best. Jake, if you don't get off my modem, Jake, get off there.
But it's warm, Daddy. It's warm.
Thank you, buddy. But it's not cold here. So why you got to get on my modem? I'm just afraid he's going to block up all the holes and cause it to overheat.
Hey, Aretha, aren't you supposed to be keeping Jake in line when these videos are happening? You're supposed to keep him away. What are you doing? She ain't even in this room, is she?
Who, Aretha?
Yeah.
Where is that little troublemaker?
That's what I'm saying. She's supposed to be keeping Jake busy.
Yeah, I believe it or not, she's the one sleeping right now. That's usually not the case.
Here's the other way around, right?
Yeah. Anyway, Mark Lowry, he's his best known song is one he penned called "Mary Did You Know."
I know that,
and I bet you've heard that because everyone's done it.
I think everybody has. Yeah, that's pretty popular.
Yeah, it was a huge song. But he's also known for being kind of the comic relief in the Gaither family. He's pretty goofy. He can be serious and do some really serious work, but he's also a clown.
So he even says on there, American comedian, singer, songwriter. So
yeah, good dude. And a guy that I think you'd really enjoy. He was there first year that I went, along with Reba Rambo. And
I got a couple Rambos.
Oh yeah. And then second year 3 would have been Gaither, and then last year was it was a couple, and I'm blanking on their name.
What do you know? What years Mark Lowry, or what albums that he would have been in the Gaither vocal band?
Oh, he's been in and out of the band. Yeah, so
I'm just curious if any of the ones I got he's on or not.
Gaither vocal band. I think the albums that I've seen that you've shown are older, like Passing the Faith Along, right?
Yeah. So
yeah, that would have been way too early for him. That would have been early 80s. Yeah, he probably didn't come along till the 90s sometime.
Okay.
And I think, yeah, it was because in the early days, I remember like Passing the Faith Along had guys like Steve Green on it, and then there were other guys like Larnell Harris and Michael English and guys like that came through the Gaither vocal band. I'll give Bill Gaither credit, man.
He sees talent.
He can find some singers, can he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness! There, I was looking at one Gaither vocal band album, and it had Michael English and Larnell Harris, I think, both singing in the group at that time.
Same time?
Do what now?
I'm just looking at what I have, and I don't think we would have any of them on there.
Well, we're talking about the Gaither vocal band.
I
think Russ was on 2.
I would say I don't have any Gaither. All I have is the new Gaither. Is what I have.
This is Everything Good. Unfortunately, I don't get a good picture on this camera, but Russ sang on this one. Had a few hits. Everybody loves the song "Heartbreak Bridge" and "New Hope Road" off of this album, which was written by Larry Gatlin.
Gatlin Brothers. Yeah, Larry. Got a couple of his records too.
And then, of course, Russ sang on this a cappella album.
Oh, beautiful.
And talk about a lineup there. You're talking about Guy Phelps, David Phelps.
Yeah.
Who is a phenomenal tenor. And then on this side, you've got Guy Penrod, who is a great vocalist as well.
Yeah, I have a thing for vocal bands, and especially a cappella too. So definitely I'm gonna keep my eye out for those.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've had lots of good talks about his Imperials days as well.
Oh, of course. You're giving me all this information. I'm just making sure before we leave that I have everything down that I need to do more research and keep my eye out for things.
Let me get caught up here with Crystal's giving us some good information over here too. Let's see.
Yep.
Angie Prim. That must have been year 1 because I do not remember her. Let's see. Oh, and the guy who did I Am with Russ on Believe. Really? Isn't that David Crowder? I don't. That must have been year one too. And I know Michael Tate was year one because I didn't see him. I was there the year. I think it was year two. No, it would have been year. It would have been the year in between Bonnie and Phil on Saturday night that Kevin Max was there. And you're pretty familiar with DC Talk, right?
Definitely.
Kevin Max came
Yeah.
my second year, the third year, and I remember him getting up there and saying, "Russ brought me in to bring the weird," and then he launched into David Bowie's "Heroes." We could be heroes.
Cool.
And yeah, great song. Probably easily my favorite Bowie song.
There was that time when in high school where at the church where they had the youth group, and DC Talk was always playing all the time, and so you definitely know. And who sings that? Our God is an awesome God, He reigns.
Oh, Rich Mullins.
Is that who it is? Okay.
Yeah.
They played that one all the time too. I just never knew who sang it. I love that song.
Rich was a great artist. Unfortunately, he was killed in an accident in around 97, 98, somewhere in there. And but he was a great artist. I definitely liked the stuff. I was glad when he got big enough to kind of control his own sound, because it became less pop and more acoustic Appalachian type music.
Oh, cool. That's good.
And so with Rich Mullins, I think his masterpiece was The Liturgy, Legacy, and a Ragamuffin Band.
I like the name of that.
The Jesus record was also exceptional. Yeah, but that one that recording's a little odd because Rich died before that album was made. So the Jesus record came out as a 2 CD set. The first disc was the raw demos that Rich had gone in and cut of the songs. And then disc 2 was fleshed out studio version of all the songs.
Oh, okay.
With guest vocalists like Amy Grant and Ashley Cleveland and Michael W. Smith.
Oh, the big hitters.
Yeah. And some of the Ragamuffins, some of the guys in the Ragamuffin band like Rick Elias and Jimmy A also sang lead on a few songs. And yeah, it was an exceptional album.
Other than Ashes and Light, is there any other Mark Hurd albums that you think that I would dig?
Well, anything that Mark ever put out was brilliant.
I assumed so, but I didn't know if there's an order of preference. Like, grab everything. Yeah, I would, but if
the one that I like, believe it or not, the one I like the most doesn't even have Mark Hurd's name on it.
Oh, really?
It's called Ideola Tribal Opera.
Bizarre.
And Ideola was supposed to be a band, but it turned out that the only person in the band was Mark Hurd.
Okay.
But it was different because Mark did a lot of really exceptional acoustic music, whereas the Ideola project was more in. It wasn't so acoustic. It was. I don't want to call it pop because that has such a negative connotation. But
right. Accessible, maybe.
It wasn't. I don't.
No.
I mean, it was too deep and too substantive to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of albums that you really have to hear to get a grasp on, because
more plugged in and electric, and then
yeah, it was definitely more eclectic, and it was done on a new label that didn't last very long called What Records.
Okay, yeah.
And it was a label that the only other artist that off the top of my head that I can think of that appeared on that label was Tony O'Kay.
Okay.
Did you ever hear Tony O'Kay?
I don't think so. Yeah. No, sorry.
So after what I think kind of went by the wayside, I think Tony O'Kay started recording on his own Gadfly Records. So
I'm still so new to this world. So many artists I don't know that I want to discover.
So Mark Hurd died in 91 or 92. He actually,
because I picked up his discogs in August '92.
My understanding is he had a heart attack while performing at Cornerstone Festival.
Yeah.
And died a few days later.
That is tragic.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. And he was so brilliant. I mean, we're talking Bob Dylan level songwriting.
Well, I got one record by him. You gave it to me, and I love it. That's why I asked about more.
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to think about that. Appalachian Melody. Has he got one called Appalachian Melody?
Yeah, second record in '79, Appalachian Melody.
That one's awfully good. They're also brilliant. They're just also brilliant. I'd have to look.
Good.
Yeah. Trying to think if I don't recall Russ ever working with Mark Hurd. That would have been a nice combination to put together.
Wow.
Russ has worked with so many artists.
Yes.
I don't know if you knew this, but he even appeared on a Glenn Campbell album.
My homie Glenn? No, I didn't know.
Yeah.
You just educated me.
Yeah. They did trying to think, was it a Christmas song? No, I can't remember off the top of my head. I just know that
you're gonna make me look it up later. I will.
Yeah. So it's appeared on a number of Glenn's albums, even comps, where they've pulled some of his hits and stuff. Trying to think of any other really big people that he's sang with. I mean, he's sang with so many, and he's been willing to sing with so many up and coming Christian artists. I was trying to think how many times has he sang with somebody that everybody would commonly know. I know there was one time, and you can find this too. Russ, who knows Ashley Cleveland pretty well. I've always thought, and I love Ashley. Ashley's a very soulful singer.
Yes.
In fact, I've sometimes said that if Russ were a female, he might be Ashley.
You sounds kind of crazy, but I can kind of see where you're going from on that.
So I don't know where they met, but I know Russ and James Holohan. Russ was a longtime guitarist. Okay. They played on Ashley's first album, A Big Town. Maybe it was just called Big Town.
Let's find out.
And so I know, I think they had a songwriting credit or two on there, and then they also, Russ did some backups, and Holohan played some guitars on it.
Big Town.
Yeah. So anyway, from that connection, And I would assume that maybe Ashley put in a word for Russ because she had a long time relationship with John Hyatt. She had sang backup for him a lot. And so there, if you look, I think it was the it might have been, it was either Letterman. Was it Letterman or the Tonight Show? I can't remember. But Hyatt was on there singing one night, and his backup singers were Russ and Ashley.
Wow.
Talk about some backup singers.
Man, you gotta find that clip. It was one of those night shows, though, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, Ashley was sang some backup on Under Their Influence. Chris was saying there was a thread a couple days ago that shared a lot of his duets.
Kind of nice to have a little listing of all those together. And there's probably tons of them. Well, there are tons of them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he had a big duet with Amy Grant back in the
I just
80s.
heard
that. My buddy Dave is in the room.
Hey, Dave.
He says it's hard when your backup singers are better than you.
Don't let Hi hear that.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And let's see. We were talking about duets, weren't we? I was going to.
I know that new Russ you just gave me. That I still believe that that had Amy Grant on that, if I remember right.
Yeah, he also did a duet with Sandy Patty at one point back in the 80s, which was big.
That's a name I haven't heard in forever. Whoa, Sandy Patty.
He did a duet with William Lee Golden my brain, Oak Ridge Boys.
There you go.
On a Gaither project, they sang a song called Circuit Rider together.
We're not saying we disagree with you, Dave. I think me and Dale would probably both be like, that's probably the best backup you could ever have as a backup singer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hyatt. He's, I like Hyatt too, but he is not that world-class vocalist that these guys are. I was trying to see if I could find that thread that duet thread. He did one duet that I wish was in print because it's absolutely amazing. There's a husband and wife group called Do What Now?
Crystal says she remembers the name of that band that was from Third and Lindsay. Remember earlier you guys couldn't think of the name? She just remembered it.
Okay. Oh, the Alternators. I thought that was what the band that backed Russ was called. Or maybe they are their own band and they've just backed Russ on occasion. Oh, yes, Dave. Russ has sang with Lulu Roman Smith.
Okay.
Do you remember her? I think she was on Hee Haw.
I bet I don't. I bet if I saw her face, heard her voice, I'd be like, oh, yeah. Because I watch plenty of Hee Haw. So, just been so long. It's been, what, like 3 decades? I'm only 40-something years old here, guys.
But there was I'm not seeing that thread. There was one of my favorite Russ Taff cuts is off of there's a group called Sparks. They had to change their. I think they changed their name at some point because there's a contemporary or a rock band called Sparks.
Okay.
But it's Greg and Rebecca Sparks. And they did a song called Jesus Rescues Me with Russ. And it's kind of a black gospel kind of song. And of course, Russ is going to take everybody to church on that.
That's what he does.
Yeah. So that's kind of one of my favorite kind of obscure cuts and duets. I've got a number, and some of the ones are just kind of hard to remember because the artists that he went ahead and did duets with were up and coming. And I thought, but I've always appreciated that about him, that he's willing to work with these up and coming artists and kind of give them a little bit of a rub by singing. And a lot of times these up and coming artists are doing different arrangements of his songs that he's made famous. Songs like Watergrave. And when I started to speak, had them all on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, Mega Jeff's here. And Rebecca and the Sparks were part of there was a Christian kind of pop rock band called Bashing the Code. And that's how it's spelled right there. Back in the day. And the Sparks were part of that group. And then Greg, I blanked on his name. I had it earlier.
I just figured out that Winebender comment up there. That's that's Oak Ridge Boys. Elvira. Above that, like four above that. For the longest time, I'm like, what was he saying? Like evil, rude? No.
Oh, that's funny.
I've been staring at it for a couple of minutes here going, what in the world is Winebender talking about? It's off of work, I don't know, but no, I got it.
Yeah. So, and trying to keep track of, well, now that I think about it, Russ also did a duet with Leslie Phillips, who would later leave Christian music and revert to the name Sam Phillips.
Okay.
Right about the time that she married T-Bone Burnett, which
I know T-Bone.
He's a famous producer. Matter of fact, T-Bone Burnett, didn't he produce the "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" soundtrack?
He might have. I just know that there's a lot of background stories about him not being the most nice of guys in the world. But yeah.
I've never met him.
I remember one of my old videos back in the day. There was something that I had to do a little research on him. I'm like, wow, he's kind of a person I wouldn't want to hang around. But anyway,
Mega Jeff is Sam Phillips. Was she in a Die Hard movie? That I didn't know she had any acting credits.
Are you playing tricking us? Are you playing games? Come on, Jeff. She's not in a Die Hard movie. Well, was she like a spy with the bad guys, the good guys, love interest, working at a police station? You can't just come out with that. You got to give us some info, man.
Well, let's talk a few soundtracks that Russ has been on.
Good idea.
They actually took Ain't No Grave, which appears at the end of Under Their Influence. Sam Phillips is still making great music. In fact, she's got an album. Her last album I have not picked up yet, but I heard somebody on Instagram talking about how good it was.
Die Hard with a Vengeance. She was the crazy Russian chick at the end.
Really?
Yeah. We had to rewatch that.
Huh. And Winebender says Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
If anybody says differently, they're wrong.
And so is Batman Returns.
You're right.
And then, and Dave says The Fire Down Low, Steven Seagal movie. Russ did a song for it.
Okay.
There was also a, and now I'm going to blank on it. There was a Hank Williams movie, not the big one with Tom Hiddleston, but there was another one. And Russ sang Honky Tonk Man on that soundtrack.
Oh, cool.
So there's 3 right there that I can think of that Russ did have some good, because he did a country album in the mid 90s. He still seems to have some good contacts in the world of country music.
God, he's such a soulful voice. But yeah, it can work in country. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think
like a lot of country I've heard of his. I got to hear more of his country.
Well, he's just got the one. Sorry, I hate to do all this reaching on camera, but okay. So he's just got the one country album. It's this one, Winds of Change.
Okay, so if I see that one, I'll know.
Yeah. There he is on the back. What a beautiful guitar. I wish I had a better camera to show it to you.
I can see it. Well, Starburst parent starts yellow, goes out to the orange, and then dark on the outside. Nice.
But this is a great album. The saddest thing, the thing that drives me the craziest, is that talking to Russ, he said he cut a second album, but it never. There was label changes and everything. It lost momentum. It never got released. It's sitting on a shelf
somewhere.
It's sitting on a shelf somewhere, and probably will never see the light of day. And
Russ said, you people that know Russ, get it. Go grab it. What a great thing for a record store day release. Come on, do it.
That would be awesome. But
would that be awesome?
Oh my gosh. That would be so great, but I don't ever see that.
In the morning, the previous day, I mean, they'll be there like, I'm here, I'm first in line.
Yeah. So, and then again, we were talking about duets. We forgot duets that he's done with Phil.
Well, yeah, I think we kind of assumed that because we talked about it before. Because, like I said, he came down to Bell that one year. So
yeah, so with Phil and Randy Stonehill both, he's recorded a lot. Together, they did a cover of Keith Green's "Your Love Stays with Your Love Broke Through." They did that one for a tribute album to Keith Green. And then when Phil Keaggy did his kind of most Beatlesque album, it was Phil Keaggy and Sunday's Child. So he brought in Randy Stonehill and Russ to sing Ain't Got No. And then Randy Stonehill did an album or did a song. I think the song was called When We Were Young. And so he brought in Phil and Russ and Larry Norman and some cats like that. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, by the way, I with what Dave just said down there, that's kind of what I said in my video. If you just want to hear good music with great vocals, genres, whatever. I like you said, he has a country album, but Russ is Russ.
Right.
You know?
Right. So, I mean, Walls of Glass and Metals were more synth-oriented pop rock, and then the self-titled was more flat-out rock. Then he starts kind of getting into Americana music with Winds of Change or The Way Home. And then Under Their Influence, and then country with Winds of Change. Then
oh, there you go.
And then he started getting in with the Gaithers, doing that doing that work, and then even his newest CD, which is the one that I just sent you. Sorry about all that. This one, the latest release. This is somewhere between the production on this. It lies somewhere between the kind of contemporary pop sound of Faroe Islands. Have you ever seen that album?
Is that the opera album Dave's talking about? Just kidding.
Faroe Islands. Somewhere in between this and I think the Way Home, with some of the songs like the kind of the ones that would fit in good with The Way Home would be like Your Love Never Fails, and There's a Hallelujah in it all. Now I told you, because we were talking earlier about the gift that Susan sent me. Yeah. See, I think my first year there, I got this one.
Oh, look at that. Sure enough, look at that. Just for you.
And this has got Precious Lord, Take My Hand and Going Home on it. What's this? This is kind of an oddball little CD I picked up. So when Russ put out a Greatest Hits album, I think this came out as he was leaving Murrah Records. He cut one new song, and this was it, Your Love Stays With Me. And I've loved this song. In fact, back in the day when I used to sing, that song originally came out on a Gary Chapman album. Gary Chapman being a kind of a Christian country artist.
I got a couple Gary Chapmans, so yeah, I'm familiar with him.
Yeah, so he cut it, and then Russ cut this on his best of, and I had the soundtrack and messed it up, and then Russ came out with it, and I thought, oh, great. And so I did that. In fact, that was the last song that I ever sang publicly. And it was, I guess, I didn't think it was all that outrageous, but I did it at church. And a deacon met me as we were hanging up our choir robes that day and said, that was bluesy, wasn't it? I said, well, yeah. And they never asked me to sing again. So
you do. Are you intentionally ignoring Dave talking about Russ Taff doing a opera and now polka album?
Oh yeah. Well, Dave and I have had this discussion because Russ has been all over the place stylistically. That's probably that's one of the genres he hadn't covered. And polka, yeah.
Carpenter or Petra, do some hard rock or some metal, just do some backup vocals. Why not?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I would buy Russ Taff polka, by the way. You know that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Russ could get away with anything with some of us. I mean, I think he could do some kind of throat singing and kind of looking through some of the albums we haven't really talked about because they were kind of done in the Gaither. Sorta. I love this one, the Best of Russ Taff.
Okay, cool.
But you would think, but now don't get it twisted, because this Greatest Hits album is about as original as a Greatest Hits album has ever gotten, because basically he re-recorded most everything that he had previously sang.
So it's really new. Really?
So it's really quite new, and he even did a bunch of songs that he had never done before. Because I don't think he had ever done They Call It Gospel Music on anything. When He Calls, I'll Fly Away is new. Farther Along, I don't think he had done it before. There are a couple of Imperial songs on here. Praise the Lord, Jesus. I don't think he had done Born Again. I mean, there was a lot of new stuff. He did Andre Crouch's My Tribute.
It's the best of, but
I'm not sure why they came up with the name The Best Of, because probably more than half of the songs he had never done before. And then, of course, he did this kind of under the Gaither banner, too. I somehow have not picked up all my Russ albums, CDs. But this is Now More Than Ever. Got some great songs on there. And then, of course, Faroe Islands, which he did, which is where he recorded the album. In the Faroe Islands, or however you say it.
I want to give you a heads up. I got about 4 minutes left. I'm going to be bouncing about 10:30, just so you know in advance.
Okay.
So don't jump out on you and be like right off on you.
That's okay.
Right? Where is it? Where is it?
Yeah, I actually have that album too. In a Metal Mood.
Yep.
But
I had a download of it. I got illegally once, but I've never had a physical copy of it. That'd be on my Grail list. I think there is a vinyl release of it. I think.
Is it?
Maybe. I might be wrong. I know it's on CD for sure.
Okay. But yeah, I did somehow, because I don't think I've got right here right now in this pile, which was I did. This is another great album. I don't know if you've ever heard it before or ever seen it before. Did I ever send you a copy of this?
No, sir.
Okay. I need to work on that, because they're not hard to come by.
Yeah. Need all I can get that I don't got.
And it's a good one too. He did that one on Benson Records. But yeah, after about his first 5 solo albums, I don't think anything got pressed to vinyl. So
used to be called, was originally going to be Far and Away. Today I learned, Crystal. Thank you.
Okay. I didn't know that. That's something I didn't know.
You learned.
So
when they re-release on Record Store Day, they'll just call it by the Far and Away name, make it a special edition.
So we'll show a couple of the rare ones. Of course, the album that I consider to be the greatest album of all time, Russ Taff, Under Their Influence. This album was at a time when they weren't even they didn't even press this in the US. They pressed it in the UK.
That's why CDs hard to find though, or
they're fairly hard to find. They're not impossible, but they're fairly hard to find, along with The Way Home.
Yeah, I heard a couple tracks off of that that I was playing earlier. I don't know that from the YouTube mix, had a couple off that album.
This one isn't so hard to find.
Got that on CD from you. Yeah.
Then well, I guess I forgot to pull the other two that are regular. But let's look at I will show you a couple more rare ones. This one is super rare. This is a Sounds of Joy album. It's kind of hard to get it. Russ is right there.
Wow.
And of course, he autographed it.
Super rare.
Yeah, I got this.
Remember? I think there's a story behind that too, wasn't there?
Yeah, I got it in a silent auction at the first bell buckle I attended, and yeah, it came out of his storage locker. So, and when he handed it to me, he said, "You're probably one of two people that have that album." Though I don't think those numbers were scientific in any way.
There's more than two. Maybe not 2,000, but yeah.
Here is another Sounds of Joy album. This was the band that he put together with James Holohan before he broke big in the Imperials. This one, it's not the easiest to find, but you can find it. I mean, it pops up. And then there's one more Sounds of Joy album called Sharon. And that's going to be the album that drives me crazy.
That's your white whale, huh?
Yeah, because I don't know how many copies there are. I didn't even know. Who knows? I may have even seen it before. Russ is not on the cover,
so you might not even known.
Right. He was leaving the band and gave them, even though he sang lead on the album, he gave them permission to put the new lead singer on it. So, yeah. So I thought I had all of the stuff, and then this guy who I think's in Sweden that follows me on Instagram said somebody popped up in a comment somewhere. Maybe it was on this YouTube channel, but somebody popped up and said, "No, there's another Sounds of Joy album." And I thought, "Oh my gosh,
no,
oh no!" Now that's one that I've got to chase.
But hey, thank you, Crystal.
Yes,
thank you, Dave.
Crystal.
Thank you, Jeff.
Are you leaving me, bud?
I'm leaving you, bud. Sorry about that, but
all right. Well, I'm glad you joined us.
Yes. Too bad we couldn't go down to Bell Buckle. I know you couldn't go, but one of these days I want to go. I got to go. I want to go. I want to go. And I'm not in those places, so you know that's important to me because I don't do places.
Yeah, I'd love for you to go sometime. That would be awesome.
I would. So take care, guys. Peace out, and see you same time tomorrow night, I guess, right?
Yeah, we'll be doing our NFL live stream tomorrow night. Right. I'm going to stay on here for a few minutes and talk to folks.
You do that, and thank you for inviting me.
Oh, thank you for being here. All right. So I'm going to concentrate on these comments down here. Yeah. So that's going to be the tricky part about trying to get that. Well, I don't know it'll be the rarity. I don't know how many copies they made. I don't know what kind of distribution it got. I'll put that up there just in case he still has the feed up. So yeah. So that's my holiest of holy grails in the collection to try to pick up. And who knows? Maybe one day. Though it's a little scary when I look at Discogs and there's no record of any transaction having occurred with that album. So how many are in existence? I really don't know. That middle one, and I'm assuming I have them in the right order. We know which one's last because Russ wasn't on it. And I'm assuming that the Yahweh one is the middle one because it seems to be better distributed than the one before and looks more professional. So I'm hoping I've got those in some kind of order. So I know I've got a couple people in the room. anything anybody wants to know or wants to talk about, I am totally here for you. I do wish I could have been there this year, but it's good to have a moment to to think back on some of the great memories I've made over the past 3 years, and memories I hope to make. You okay? Now this could be interesting. Dave has a confession. I have Rick Elias in the confessions. You're in Tennessee. I figured as much. Have you, Dave, have you seen anybody yet? I talked to Susan, message with Susan a little bit ago. She hadn't seen you. Well, I didn't think you were not going to go because of me. In fact, so I'm assuming that that maybe Dave and Crystal are chilling at the cafe or something. I don't know. Okay. Dave, how far out did you have to get your lodging? Murfreesboro again? Yeah, I figured as much. Yeah, not quite the same as being in Bell Buckle for the weekend, but yeah. So that's what I'm leaving you and Crystal with. I'm guessing you are the two that are in the room. Make sure that if there's anything cool that comes out, that you call me and let me PayPal you some money. I doubt he has anything new. And in case you missed it, Dave, Susan hooked me up. She sent me. There was a CD. I guess there was a CD in the package. So she sent me a copy. So I'm looking forward to putting that in and giving it a spin. But you know, if they do something cool like making the I thought about the mask with the Fu Manchu on it. I want one of those if they took my advice and made one. So anything cool like that, anything that you think is out of the ordinary, let me know so I can. That's what I'll miss is. And I haven't really seen who the artists are that are going to be guesting, but I hope you guys take a lot of pictures and post them so we can see them because yeah, so that'll be good. And let's see, trying to I don't know what else there is to say. I think I might wind this down. Been on here about, oh, wow, an hour and a half. And, man, I miss you guys. And I miss all the folks down there that I normally run into. And, of course, Larry and Susan and Russ and Tori. And, yeah. But this will pass. Oh, wow. There's quite a, yeah. I bet it gets me too. But it was fun just hanging out, talking about it, kind of sharing my memories of the weekend with my buddy Steve, and I know you didn't. I know you didn't. I didn't even open mine until this live stream, or else I might have, if I had known what it was. I wasn't sure. But I appreciate her sending that. Kind of helps a little bit. But yeah, I really wish I could have been there. I miss you guys. And yeah. So I think this is a good place to wrap before I actually get a little emotional. And yeah, I'll be praying for you guys. Be safe, make good decisions, and definitely have a great time, And yeah, maybe next year I'll get to come, and it'll be in a kind of environment where we can actually hug on one another. Because, yeah, this virus, I hate it. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate it. Like I said, I think I'm going to wrap this up. And like I said, you all have a great time, and post those pictures, and we will see you soon. Like I said, love you guys. See you later.